Hello there. Let's continue. We're at such a fun stage with this project. We're going to mat the cover. So these are the papers I chose. I've got this one for the cover, this one for the back, and this one for the spine. I think it's going to be gorgeous. So this paper has really great images in 3 different places, okay? And if I put it this way, I'm going to lose part of the Mayflowers. I'm going to lose this down here. So this is an excellent tutorial for matting. Another matting opportunity here, guys. All right, so let's talk about how we're going to cut this up so that it works with our project. I have another top 10 matting ideas for you. This is Kathy with Paper Phenomenon, and welcome back. Here we have this gorgeous pattern paper. This is a pattern paper from the Flutter and Bloom collection, Flutter and Bloom 1. So we have 3 gorgeous elements here on this paper. Here is our cover. We're working on the Moving Parts Page Folio Style 2. And I'm going to use this for my cover. I don't want to lose any of these pretty things. So what do you do when you're matting? You want to chop up the paper so that it works for you and you can piece it together. It's kind of like the fill in the blanks type of mindset that I gave you with my previous tip. But this one is you're filling in the blanks with the paper. So how do you tackle a piece of paper like this to cover something like this? Well, what you want to do is cut out the usable images. In this case, this is a usable image for me right here. Okay, love that. Then, so I'm going to cut this down to size what I need for my cover. Okay, and that's perfect. So you would piece things together. I love this part here. So I am going to, I would love to put my title somewhere around here. So if I cut that right around there, and for me that's going to be, let's do a 3-inch mark, because 3 inches would be about there. So I'm going to cut it at about 3 inches. And now I'm just going to see how much of it I need, right, this way. Do 5 1/4. You never want to mat into the spine of a book. So I'm going to bring this down just a little bit more. We'll do 5 inches. 5 inches. So I'm going to piece that right there. Okay. And you can leave a spot for a grid, and I'll show you how to cover that up as well. And then I love this Mayflowers here. Now the Mayflowers is going to be a little tricky because when I do my wrap, my spine wrap, it's still going to cover up the Mayflowers. So I can do one of 2 things. I can cut this out and then stick it onto the paper, right? And I'll show you in just a minute, which I will do because I want it. All right, so I'm going to get the height that I need without cutting out my Mayflowers. The sentiment. So I'm going to cut that, probably cut that out. Now I'll use something else. No biggie. No biggie. And again, 5 inches this way. Okay. So I definitely want the spacing. I need the spacing in order for this to look right. But I don't want my chipboard to show, right? So what I would do is one of 2 things. I will add P3 tape or color it in with a Sharpie, guys. Simple as that. But I have P3 tape, so I'm going to use P3 tape. And I'm not going to overlap. I'm just going to cover up what I need to cover up. And you can cut this in half. You probably do not need the full length, right? And if you overlap, it's not a big deal either. No biggie. As long as your overlapping is underneath the... You can use cardstock. You don't have to use P3 tape. As long as the overlap is underneath the pattern paper. You don't want it on the edge of the book, okay? Do not want it on the edge, please. So let me make a mark here so I don't screw this up. All right, so you want to make the paper work for you, okay? This is what this is about. So you want to chop up the paper and then do what I like to call color blocking, right? But with pattern paper instead of colors. Then you have this. Now I need a piece of paper here. So I need my tape to go from right around here to there. Remember, I don't want to have any overlapping outside of the pattern paper. You want the pattern paper to cover the overlapping. And why do you want that? So you do not get any lifting. So see, there's overlapping there, but my pattern paper covers up the ends of it. Okay, very, very important. Look at that. Look at that, guys. So I'm going to get every element in there. Every last element. And then I can put my title somewhere. I don't know, I'm just picking something random. We can put all sorts of things here. A collage of things. Look at that. Just two little things I put here so quickly. But let's continue, right? Let's continue. Is it so important to me to have, I could still put this here at 5 inches. And then get a piece of black cardstock just to create some more interest. So I'll cut my black cardstock to 5 inches. Then this measures 1 1/8. So I would cut this to 1 3/8 of an inch. Hopefully I'm getting that straight. And now I have to be careful with this one because I have to be careful where I have to put this one afterwards, where my spine wrap would be. But I can still do something like this and perhaps maybe 2 eyelets here or 2 something there, right? So this is an opportunity. However, we're going to glue things down first because I am keeping this, okay? So look at how fun this is. Looking amazing. We can even put this down here if we want to. It doesn't have to be up there. So let's glue this on. And then you have a completely unique cover. You were able to use all of the wonderful elements in the paper collection. Without having to compromise any of the design, right? We always want to use all of the pretty paper. I am guilty of it. So this is what I do. This is what I do. Color blocking with your pattern paper is so perfect for this. It's the answer to everything. All right, so just line it up at the bottom. The key is to have everything spaced out nice and evenly. That's the key here, guys. All right, now this one, of course, if you want to ink, go for the ink. Bring that up. I cut this one just a little short, but that's okay. My whatchamacallit. Oh, come up, please. There we go. My title will fix that just up nicely. Or I could have just moved this one slightly over so that the spacing between these two would match, but I can live with that. Not a big deal. Now for the back of my paper, I can do the same thing if I want to, but I'm okay with just cutting it down, okay? I am completely fine with that. So I'm going to cut my paper down. Forgive the shaking of the noise of my chair. I will fix it. All right, so this is perfect. Now the back. So I'm just going to stick this one down nice and straight. So that's for the back. So two front covers, right? Two front covers. Right here. Just make sure you get it on there nice and straight so that when you put your spine on, everything will line up beautifully. And sometimes I don't glue my spine all the way. I just kind of piece things together. Like I won't glue this all the way down. I won't glue this one until I put my spine on halfway. And that's just because if I'm not confident it's going to be straight, it gives me some time to fix it. But I went ahead and glued this back piece on because I think I'm going to do okay. I'm going to jinx myself. All right, so now for the spine, I like to measure an inch from the edge from the spine of the book, not from the pattern paper. So that's 1, 2 in the back, and then 3. So I'm going to cut my paper at 3 1/4 for the wrap. 3 1/4. And then I'm going to cut this down to size, which is 11, by the way. I've been cutting all of this at 11 inches. And now I'm going to put tape. You want to put end-to-end coverage of tape. You do not want to use glue for this. Absolutely not. Okay? It is not advisable to use glue. The method that I use to glue my pattern paper down is very, very specific to my projects, and tape is it's not recommended. It is advised to use tape. Okay, if it's a recommendation, that means you can do whatever you want. In this case, my friends, you can't do whatever you want. If you use glue, it's just not going to work. Right? It's not going to work the way it should. That's when you get all sorts of cracking in your pattern paper. Yes, we have the P3 tape here, but that's not what's going to show. What's going to show is the pattern paper. You will get cracking. You don't want any cracking in the pattern paper. All right. Okay. So, see what we want here. We'll do this side here. Okay. So now to get this on as straight as you possibly can, I like to use a T ruler. All right, so let me grab my T ruler. I have so many of them. And this is about right here at about 1 inch. I'm going to start here because otherwise I won't get it right. It won't be straight. It's a little higher here on the You know what? What I'm going to do is do my 1 inch measurement, and then I don't want to do it from here because it's not exactly, there's a little bit of height over there on that side. I can't get the measurement exactly where I want it. Okay, so there's my mark. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make sure that everything is nice and even, lined up. All right, there we go. So now what we're going to do is remove the tape backing. I cut my paper perfectly. So here's my spine piece, 3 1/4 by 11 in this particular case. And you stick it down like this, fold it. And then you have to do a few things once you go around the bend of the album. So just let's take it step by step, guys, okay? I want this side. I like this side, yeah. Okay, so right at the pencil mark or on it, doesn't matter. We're going to put another strip there of something, cardstock. So you're going to stick that down. You're going to lift your book up. You're going to open, well, your cover, right? You're going to open it. You're going to have, whoopsie, a slight bend. See how I have a slight bend? It's not perfectly open straight. There's a slight bend in it. Now what you want to do is you're going to stick the spine down without stretching the paper. Just stick it down, and you want to guide it so that it lines up where it needs to be. If mine is just a teeny bit off, but that's okay, I can live with that. Right, just the way it is in this bended position, please. Right here in this folded position. It's got a little bit of fold there, right? It's not completely straight. It's got a little fold. Now, once you burnish it, now you're going to close it back up and finish your burnishing. Okay? Finish that burnishing. It is absolutely imperative that you stick the spine on that way so that your spine doesn't crack. If you don't create enough room in the spine area so the paper can stretch when you close your album. Okay? I cannot stress this enough. So now we're going to get some more black cardstock. I have to move my chair. And I'm going to cut a thin strip. I'm going to cut about 1/4 inch to see what that looks like, because now that we have this piecing here, it could be weird with all the lines. Oh no, it is not at all. So cut that to height. Love it. You need 2 of these. One for the front, one for the back. And they don't have to be identical for the front and the back. It can be whatever you want it to be, guys. You want to treat the back as its own cover. All right, as its own cover. You don't want it to be, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly like the front. But if that's what you're going for, that's okay. But it doesn't have to be that way. I'm going to use a thinner one for the front. I like the back and the front and my back cover to be different. Not every time, but you know, sometimes that's the look I go for. And sometimes that's the look that the album just dictates because, you know, I screwed something up. So if your paper is not straight right here in the front, don't worry, because this gives you the opportunity to straighten it out, okay? So don't worry. So be careful that you give it special attention right here in the connection point. You want to make sure that the paper sticks down perfectly right in there. This is why you don't want to ever stretch it. You just want to burnish it on exactly the way it's forming around the bend. Okay, and then over here. So this portion is not really about the technique, right, of wrapping the album. It was about the paper piecing on the cover, right? Paper piecing on the cover. Oh, I think I cut this paper just slightly off. That's all right. I can live with that. All right, guys, so now that we finished the paper piecing portion of this, this is how you would use a large piece of paper with beautiful elements on a smaller area so you can get all of the elements in. So when you're matting, you can absolutely get all of the elements in of a beautiful paper by doing this. Let's say this was a scrapbooking page. You can put photos here still without covering up any of the pretty. All right, so there is yet another tip for matting in the top 10 matting series. All right, so now let's get something on the cover. Let's see. So many ideas, so many options. It's never good when I have a lot of options. I could be here all day. Let's just look at everything so I don't leave anything out. Oh my gosh, look at that. I mean, you can even do like a grouping of things. Love that. We'll do that one for the inside. Best buds. Oh my goodness, look at that. We can even off-center it where this is kind of drawing you this way, drawing your eye this way. Oh, look at that. How perfect is that? You can even do a few little brads right here, which I probably will do. I think I love that right there because it just pops off the page. And if I wanted the Mayflowers, I can probably cut this down as well if I don't want it coming out this way. Or just pop it right on top of there. That kind of ruins all my lines. I don't want to ruin my lines. Let me glue this on and then measure. Okay. Right there. Oh gosh. Apparently my head is on crooked this morning. That's what's happening here. Gorgeous. So now let's measure this right from here to here. And of course it's at that 1/16 of an inch. So it's a little bit more than 4 3/8 of an inch. So let me figure that one out, right? Just a teeny bit more. And look at that. I went just a little short, but I can live with that. Can even do, let me see something here, guys. Oh my gosh. What do you think about this? This totally cleans up all of my lines. Ah, how perfect. Look at that. That is a beautiful cover. You can even bring this over more here and it just cleans it up even more. This is it right here. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to put, remember I wasn't happy with this big old gap here? So now that cleans it up beautifully and everything is kind of lines up. This can go here and this, let's see, there. Or I do like it maybe a little bit over, some down and right there. Oh yeah, look at that. That's perfection. I love it. All right, so I'm going to Just glue it right there so I can keep that perfect placement, because placement is everything. Right there, and then the best buds, cleaning up that center line, overlapping onto that side, just perfect. And I just like to glue things down at the very, kind of tack it down until I know this is what I'm going with, just in case I have to tear things up. Oh, I tore something up right there. Look at that! I love it. Looks fantastic. Looks absolutely fantastic. All right, let's grab a few brads, shall we? I know I have little mini brads here. Don't know that I want ginormous brads. And that, I'm scared to cut the brad legs off of these teeny tiny brads because I don't want to lose a finger. I normally like to use my Tim Holtz scissors for this, but my faith likes to take my supplies. I can't even get it in here. Don't try this at home, kids. Don't try this at home, children. Okay. Didn't lose a finger. You gotta just be careful, right? I guess that's the bottom line. Be careful. Don't go in nilly-willy. So teeny brad, one there. I mean, can you even see it? Am I just being ridiculous with this brad? I can see it. I'm going to zoom in a little closer for you guys. All right, so I'm just going to cut the brad legs off of several of these. All right, so I did 7 of these teeny brads. Look at them right there. So 3 here, 2 at the bottom, and then 2 at the top. I realize those are not really popping so much, but they will, when you have the book in front of you. Maybe not so much on camera. And I'm using glossy accents to get these on here. Oh, these may be quite annoying to get on with my giant fingers. I may need like a tool of some sort. Let's see. All right, got 2 on. So I'm going to move them out of the way. I'm going to put my glossy accents dots where I want them. And hopefully I will get the brads right where they belong. Right where I want them, I should say. So just glossy accent dots. And that's it. These things stick metal, so look at that. Hopefully I won't get glossy accents on my scissors now. They magnetize, so that's, oh my gosh, so perfect. All right, problem solved. They magnetize to my scissors, which gives me something to work with. Great. Love. Oh wow, that's perfection, guys. Thank you, scissors. Wasn't I complaining about how things magnetize to my scissors and it annoys me? Well, this works out really well. Look at how easy that was. It would have taken me like an hour to put those on, trying to get them up with my giant fingers. How beautiful is that? Let me see something. Sometimes I have to brighten up my camera a little bit so you guys can see certain things. Well, there you go. Look at that. Look at that. How beautiful. When I make it too bright, you just really don't see the richness in the paper because there's a lot of glare. Let's see, I'm going to shut it off. There you can see I feel like you can see the richness of the paper when I turn the brightness down because there isn't so much glare. Let's see one more time. It's just a little brighter, but you can see the brads better with the glare, I guess. All right, so I'm going to let this dry and I'll be back with another video. I'm going to cut photo mats. I'll go over the photo mats with you all, but they're going to be basic photo mats. If you haven't watched my creating photo mats video, I highly recommend it because it's something you want to do every single time for every single book. All right, so be sure to check out that video. I'll link it in the YouTube description box for you all if you're watching this on YouTube. All right, until the next video.